Hi folks, thanks for tuning in to PETwatch, the monthly show right here from the Whatcom Humane Society. I'm Laura Clark, the director of the Whatcom Humane Society, and no, this isn't our brand new shelter on Division Street in Bellingham. This is our farm facility in eastern Whatcom County. We have a really special show for you today. It's not all about dogs and cats, but we do have dogs and cats, as well as guinea pigs, birds, and everything else available for adoption. But today, it's all about the horse. We have so many homeless, unwanted, and abused horses. Our PETwatch today is all about showing you those beautiful animals who are looking for permanent, responsible, and loving homes. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get started. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to introduce you to our first large four-legged friend. We are here at our farm facility in eastern Whatcom County, and I'm here with our very, very dedicated and hardworking farm caregiver, Jessie Johnson, who has just been putting in a lot of long hours taking care of all these horses. Jessie, thanks for being here with us. Now, you have a horse named Rachel Lynn. I'd love it if you could introduce her to everybody and tell us what kind of home she needs.
Well, Rachel is in her mid-teens, somewhere about 17 or 18. She's very sweet. She's a little pushy on the ground, but she's getting better every day about that. Like I said, just consistent work on that. I have a hunch that she might be broke. I haven't gotten around to that. She has a little injury on her leg. I'm waiting to heal. So she might be an easy one, too, to just put a tune-up on, and then she might be a good trail horse or pleasure horse.
Now, Jessie, you talk about not being broke. So if folks out there are watching PETwatch and they don't know what that means, what does it mean?
Is it rideable? Is it trained to ride? So it's broke or started, however you want to put it. It just means that the horse has had some training and someone has worked with it in the past, which a lot of times we don't know when they come in. So there's an evaluation process that I kind of go through, but I kind of like to have a little more respect on the ground.
Okay, so I look at this horse. I'm not really a horse person. I love them, but I don't know much about them. That's why we have great folks like Jessie and Leah, who you're going to meet here in a little while. So when people would ask me what kind of horse is this, I would say she's brown and white and pretty. That's probably not the best answer. What kind of horse is this?
She is an Appaloosa, and they can be really, really pretty. And she has the typical Appaloosa mane and tail, which is almost non-existent, but that is just part of their breed. They're actually kind of common, I think, in this county. Appaloosas, paint horses, and quarter horses are kind of the stock breeds. They're pretty versatile, so yeah, they can be pretty flashy and pretty.
Now, grooming. A lot of people think, well, it's a horse. Does it need groomed? Tell us about that.
They do live outside, and it's a large animal, so regular grooming is important. It helps you keep their coat nice and clean so that they don't get infections or fungus, and it also just helps you get a good look over on your horse. So if you're grooming, you're more likely to notice any weird lumps or swelling or cuts because you're going over the whole body, which is a good thing to do daily.
Not something you want to do if you're not experienced, right?
No, like I said, some horses, especially if they're not used to being groomed, there's a potential of being kicked or bit because they don't necessarily like it, which has to go on. Ground manners is one of the things that you need to kind of work on, where your horse respects you and trusts you to touch them all over and just be around them, I guess.
So Rachel Lynn is just one of many horses we have in our care, looking for new homes, permanent homes, responsible homes. So Jessie, let's take a little tour of the barn and meet all the other horses. I'm really not this tall. I'm standing on a concrete block, and we are here with another one of my favorite horses. Her name is Matilda. Jessie, tell us about her.
She is a 20-year-old horse. We're guessing she's the same as one of the other stallions that you'll meet later. I don't really know. She's pretty sweet on the ground. She can be a little bit pushy, but I think all of them just need consistent work. We were pretty convinced she was pregnant when she came in because she's got this nice hay belly, and it's pretty evident that she's probably had foals before, but she is not pregnant, which is very good because she is 20, so she's a senior citizen looking kind of more for a retirement home, maybe a pleasure home. Her back's starting to sway a little bit. She's lacking some muscle up there. So a little bit of exercise to kind of help regain that would be good. And then basic feet care. So she'd be a good pasture buddy for somebody or just a companion.
Jesse, while I have you here and I'm feeling rather tall, tell us a little bit about the importance of taking care of horses' feet. I know we see a lot of horses that come in that have really bad hooves, very common problem out there. Why is it so important that you take care of them?
Their hooves grow pretty quickly, and obviously they're walking on them, so that affects them a lot. The shape of the foot, the angle of the foot, which a lot of it's going to go over even my head. Your farrier has taken lots of classes to get that angle right for their whole tendons and everything. And actually their feet, there's a little triangle part on the bottom of their feet called the frog, and that actually every time they step, that pumps blood up to their heart. So it's quite important actually for the circulation and just for the comfort of them walking in properly. You want to keep those feet trimmed evenly and at the right angle.
Sounds great. Well, Matilda, great horse, looking for a retirement home. If that home is yours, check her out. She's at the Whatcom Humane Society. A note for everybody, our farm facility is not open to the public, so please don't drop by. That's why we're not giving you the address. That's for safety and liability reasons. However, if you'd like to come out, we'd be happy to make an appointment, introduce you to the horses, and hopefully place one in your home. We are here at our farm facility with Officer Rebecca Crowley, one of our dedicated animal control officers. And Rebecca, PetWatch today is all about the horse. Now, you were involved in bringing most of these horses to the barn, and you've been telling me that you are currently investigating several other cases with possible neglect of horses. So if people out there are watching and they're thinking that maybe they know of a horse in need, tell us some things that people should look for. What should they look for before they call us?
If the horse has shelter, if it has a water source, if it has food available, then the horse hopefully is okay. But if they're still concerned about it, they can give us a call and we'll go out and take a look.
Now, some people say, well, I drive by this horse every day and he doesn't look right. How do you know? What do you look for? What are some signs that a horse might be in need?
If they have no food, if they look thin, so if you can see ribs or hip bones protruding, if they look like they're uncomfortable, if they're having a hard time walking, things like that, you should probably give us a call.
Okay, so it's muddy out. It's winter in Whatcom County. Snowflake here behind us can attest to that. It's rainy, it's muddy. So if people see animals standing in the mud, I mean, really, what is the realistic expectation that we have for horse folks right now?
Well, there's going to be mud in Whatcom County this time of year, especially when you have a big animal walking around. If they have a dry place they can go, ideally really good shelter is best. Good dry shelter that keeps them out of the elements is best. Otherwise, maybe a little hill, or you can put hog fuels, some wood shavings in there to kind of help with that mud.
So if folks see an animal in need here in Whatcom County, you want to call our animal control dispatch line at 733-2080, extension 3017. You can go to whatcomhumane.org for more information. And Rebecca, on behalf of everyone in Whatcom County, I want to thank you and all of the officers on staff. You guys do a tremendous job for our community.
Thank you.
We are here at our farm facility in northern Whatcom County. I'm here with Leah, one of our dedicated animal care techs who helps out here at the barn and is very horse savvy. And Leah, we got a lot of horses.
Oh yeah.
And you are here with a mom and a baby, and I'm wondering if I can hand the mic over to you and you can introduce folks to them and let them know what kind of homes they're looking for.
Of course. Behind me here we have Snowflake. She is about 17 years old. She is an Appaloosa mare. We're not really sure how much work she's had done with her so far, so she needs a pretty experienced home that's going to know how to kind of start from the beginning and gauge how far she's come and how much more work she needs. And then back here we have her baby Domino. He is a little colt. That means he's a boy. He's very cute, very curious, but very shy. So he's probably not going to want to come up and say hi to me. He didn't come here with a halter, so he needs a very experienced home with a baby experience. There's a lot of ways you can kind of mess it up when you're starting a baby, so it's really nice to have that experience to help you out.
Hey Leah, come on back over here real quick. While I have you, one of the things we talk about with these horses is whether or not they have any ground manners. And for somebody out there who's watching PetWatch who isn't horse experienced and doesn't know what that means, what does that mean?
Well, ground manners is just how respectful they are on the ground. Are they going to push you around? Are they going to step on you? Are they going to listen to you? They're very big animals, so it's very important that they have those good ground manners.
So how does one get started in that process?
Oh boy, first you have to introduce the halter, which is best done young. Then you introduce leading. There's a lot of give and take. And they're a little different than working with a dog. So, you just have to see how it goes, and they need to respect your space, and you make sure they stay out of it. You don't want to be stepped on.
It's a big animal, folks, and they need special homes. So if you're interested in learning more about any of the horses you see today, or really don't forget we have dogs and cats and all sorts of other animals at our facility on Division Street, you want to visit our website, whatcomhumane.org. If you're interested in learning about the horses or have questions, you can email Jessie, our farm caregiver, at farm@whatcomhumane.org. Leah, let's go meet some other horses.
All right.
We are here with Ella and Trigger, another mom and baby. You're going to see a theme here with these horses. Many of them came from the same case. It was a large-scale seizure done by our Animal Control and Rescue Department. These horses were left in a field with no food, no water, no shelter. They were underweight, full of lice, bad hooves. They just needed a lot of care. They came to us needing all that care. Again, thanks to our friends at Colshan Vet for helping us out, and all of our great staff and volunteers. You might notice, folks, that some of these horses are wearing their blue and green scarves because they're showing their Seahawk pride. Go Hawks. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Leah again, and she's going to introduce you to this sweet young lady and her baby. Leah, take it away.
All right, this here is Ella. She is about 4 years old, another Appaloosa mare. She was probably in the worst shape when she came here. Very thin, a lot of worms, very lethargic. She just didn't feel very good. So now we're really starting to see her personality shine through, and she's got a little bit of an attitude. She can be a little mouthy, so she needs a home that knows how to deal with that, and definitely no hand feeding with her, probably not for a very long time until she learns her manners. And laying down behind her that you can't really see, we have Trigger. This is her Palomino. That is his color. Little boy. He is, he's probably the sweetest baby that we have right now. He was very easy to kind of start working with. He also felt the worst when he came in here. So we were able to get him haltered and everything really easily right from the beginning. So we had a really good first experience, and then it's just been pretty much smooth sailing since then.
So we're here with Jesse and my favorite horse in the barn. His name is Knight. He came to us as part of an animal control case, neglect. He was so emaciated he couldn't walk, he couldn't stand very well. Since he's been in our care, he has gained over 100 pounds and he's still underweight. But his story has a happy ending because one of our dedicated farm volunteers is adopting him and going to give him a great, great home. One of the things that he had done to him this week is his teeth were floated. And so, Jesse, tell us what that means.
So horses' teeth grow rather quickly, and they don't always grow even. So it's a good thing to have their teeth floated at least once a year, and you want to start pretty early, like when they're 2. What Colshan was just telling me, so that you can make sure before even the horse goes into training, you can make sure the wolf teeth, which are the ones that kind of go where the bit goes, aren't in the way, or there's nothing sharp that's going to cause them pain when they first go into training. And then you want to keep a regular checkup on that to make sure, because sometimes if their teeth grow sideways, they can get sharp points which actually push into their gums, and they can create sores in the side of the mouth, which is uncomfortable when you're eating. Especially as the horse gets older, if that's really uneven when they're chewing, they can start to drop their food, and then what you think you're feeding them is just falling right out of their mouth. So what they basically do is file it even, so when they're grinding their teeth and chewing, that they can efficiently do that, and there's nothing sharp going into their gums. So it's really important to have that checked, even in young horses.
We want to thank our friends at Colshan Veterinary Hospital for providing such great care for all of the horses in our care. They're amazing friends, all of the equine vets there. So Jesse, this guy, I love him. He's funny, but he's been pushing his way around the barn. He kind of has everybody's number, meaning he's manipulating people into feeding him treats and stuff. So kind of, you were describing him as pushy. What does that mean, and why is that not a good thing?
Well, a lot of these horses too, when they get hand fed, when volunteers come, they're like, oh, I want to feed the horse. But then they start to expect that. And we want our horses to be polite and ask for it. So if he's constantly pushing and kind of mouthing on us, that's a really rude behavior and can turn into something a little more dangerous, like biting. So if you let your horse get away with little things, then it can turn into something bigger, just like a child. Let them get away with something and they're going to throw even bigger tantrums later. So that's just one thing you want to make sure. If your horse is getting pushy or mouthy like that, maybe stop hand feeding him treats and put it in a bucket on the ground so that he knows not to always check your pockets and try and nip at you.
Jessie is a wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate her being here because she's got a lot of work out here at the farm. So again, Knight, great ending to this horse's tragic story, but we have so many horses in our care needing permanent, responsible, and loving homes. So let's go meet some more. We are outside of our farm facility, and it is a cold, wet Whatcom County day, and well, that'll end probably next July. So Jessie, you are here with who I think is the most handsome horse in our care. I call him Black Beauty, but his name is Zeus. Tell us about Zeus.
Zeus is a 10-year-old stallion. We're kind of unsure about the breed. We've kind of discussed this with several vets and other horse people. We think he might be a quarter horse cross, possibly Mustang, but whatever he is, he's handsome. But he will need to be gelded in his new home, and then needs a little bit of training. He is pretty good for a stud, but he still has some very strong tendencies. So if there's girls around, he gets, I don't know what the right word for it is.
Frisky.
Excited.
He gets a little frisky, Jessie.
Yeah, so he needs an extremely experienced home that is used to dealing with stallions. But I think, even once he gets gelded and he gets in some training, he's going to be stunning.
So Jessie, I look at this horse and he seems huge to me, but you're saying he's not really that big.
He's not. We tend to get smaller horses in. Out of the ones we have right now, he is one of the bigger ones. He's a good size. He's tall, dark, and handsome, which is nice.
I like it. So if someone is interested in adopting this horse, what are some things they should think about?
Well, the first and most important thing is they are not cheap pets. So between vet bills and training and feed and then your time, they take a lot of time, especially horses like this that need that initial training to get them on the right start. So basically I would talk to vets, I would talk to horse trainers, I would do your research on what's the best for that horse, and then even if you're going to board it, if you can't have it at your house, research the facilities and get feedback from other people. A lot of people comment on different boarding facilities to figure out what's best for you, and then just make sure you have it in your budget. And you always want to have a emergency fund because you could have a $500 vet bill at any time.
Absolutely. It's something to think about. These are expensive animals, which is one of the reasons we get so many of them. Now, you mentioned this guy is a stallion. That's the equivalent of an intact male animal. So before he is adopted, he will be gelded, which is the equivalent of neutering, which will help some of his behavior problems. Do you think he could be a horse that someone could ride?
Definitely. Yeah. Like I said, he's got a good conformation-wise. He's pretty nice, and he's got a pretty good temperament and very willing. So like I said, if you put the training into this guy, he could be an amazing horse.
Well, he sure is handsome. So if you're interested again in adopting a horse, visit our website, whatcomhumane.org, click on Barnyard Animals, and you'll see them all. All right, we are here with a very, very shy horse, but he sure is coming around, and what a good boy. His name is Thunder, and Jessie, tell us about him.
Thunder is, again, another one of our stallions, which is an intact male. He's the younger. He's about 4 years old. When he came, he had never had any kind of handling, so putting this halter on was quite the task. We have a very brave vet from Colshan that helped us. And he is becoming a lot more friendly. As you can see now, you can be around him and he's like, okay, that's all right. He still doesn't lead. He has a lot of potential, and again, he's very willing and he learns very quickly. So I think if someone, again, was willing to put the time into giving this guy a good foundation and a good start, he could be another amazing horse. He's quite stocky and well built. I could see him being a really good trail or mountain pony because you're pretty brave. Yeah.
So Jesse, let me interrupt you here. So you mentioned that he doesn't lead well. So is this the equivalent of a dog that just needs a lot of obedience training and probably is not a good bet for a first-time owner?
Yes, I would say most of the horses here at this facility would not be first horses for an owner. You need experience with these guys.
Now, that being said, keep in mind, folks, our farm facility is full, and we are so full that right now we have had to board many of the horses in our care at a private boarding facility. I want to thank our friends at Westby Stables for helping us out there. But if you are looking for horses, we have more than just at our farm facility. Visit our website, whatcomhumane.org. You can see some of those horses, and if you're interested in meeting them, you can email Jesse. Jesse, is anyone in our care sort of an easy horse, and I hate to use that word, but maybe a horse that a first-time horse person could handle?
We do have a few that could easily, with maybe a tune-up from a trainer, be a good first-time horse, especially if you're going to take lessons on a regular basis or have someone with more experience that's going to be helping you, which is what I recommend. Sham, our older Morgan gelding, is still with us, and he is very sweet. He would probably be good for a first-time home. I'm trying to think. There's a few other ones that are broke over there that, again, might need maybe a 30-day tune-up with a trainer, and then they would probably be okay for a first-time home.
All right, Jesse's lips are quivering because it's so cold out here, so we're going to go back inside the barn and meet some more horses. It is nap time here at the Whatcom Humane Society Farm Facility, so after we're done introducing this horse, I'm just going to lay down in the back of the barn here and take a nap so you can check in with me later. So Jesse, you were telling me that this is one of your favorite horses. Tell us about him.
This is Lightning. He's our smallest little stud colt. He's about 1.5 to 2 years maybe. He's pretty young. We think he was stunted just from lack of nutrition. He was not halter broke when he came in, and now he is, and he has come so far. He ties on his own now, and he really likes attention, as you can see. He's quite cuddly. He's very curious. He loves to be around people. I think he'll make a great little pony for somebody. I don't really think he's going to get full size, but he could surprise us. I was saying that he's like a little puppy dog, and I want to bring him in the house and cuddle with him for a nap.
So kids out there, we don't recommend you ask your parents to adopt a pony to live in the house because chances are they're probably going to say no. I mean, you can always ask, but don't blame it on the Humane Society. But if you are looking to adopt a horse and you've done your research and you think you are ready, you have all of your ducks in a row, so to speak, please think of the Whatcom Humane Society first. We have so many horses all looking for permanent, responsible, and loving homes, and unfortunately more are going to keep coming. This is the time of year where if horses become inconvenient or too expensive for people, they're abandoning them either at boarding facilities, at the auction yard, or at the Whatcom Humane Society or other humane societies or animal welfare organizations. There's a lot of competition for homes, and we really want to find horses. We really want to find homes for horses. I do need a nap. This was a great idea. We need to find homes for horses like Lightning. So visit us, whatcomhumane.org, and if you can help, please do so. Well, that was our show. I sure hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you right here from the Whatcom Humane Society Farm Facility. I want to thank Jesse and Leah and all of our great volunteers for taking such good care of the horses. If you are interested in adopting a horse or any other animal, visit our website, whatcomhumane.org. We sure have a lot of them. I want to thank Bill Bailey, our friends at Comcast and BTV Channel 10. I'm Laura Clark here at the Whatcom Humane Society with Knight. You want a carrot, buddy? Oh, that looks good. We'll see you next time right here on PETwatch. That's pretty good, huh?